And they'll keep showing me wedding dresses.
And it says we're live. We're a little bit early. I know. Usually I'm a little bit late, but your boy is a little bit early tonight. Of course, I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe while you're at it, baby. Ooh, not too bad that time. Hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when there is content of all sorts that goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. As well, in the description down below, you will find the links to the donate, to the Patreon, to the Teespring, and of course, you can hit the join button to become a channel member. All of that if you are in a position to be able to help the channel. Yeah, I changed things up a little bit there for the intro tonight. Just testing something out. We'll see how it goes, man. I think tonight is going to be a bit more of a chill show. We don't have a ton to cover, but you know what? Maybe that'll open us up to being able to talk about a few other things along the way. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes, baby. We'll see how it goes. Hope you guys are having a tremendous week. We are, of course, on the eve of another weekend, tomorrow being Friday. I'm going to let you know what's coming up tomorrow. I'm going to let you know what's kind of coming up next week as well, just so you have the idea in mind of what's up and coming. I'm just getting things sort of set up here so you know how it goes, man. Bear with me a few minutes here. Let's see. Let's go down here like this, and I'm going to go over there like that. And we're going to go here. Let's see who's here. Hey, Slow DK. I just like a post from you on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna grab my drink here. Another warm day here, so expect that to be a thing. Hey, Ultra Megatronus, BS Prime, happy you're here, buddy. Hey, Warren. You're here. I'm here in time. Actually, I'm here a little early. Hey, Armor. Oh, it's Sawyer. Oh, right on. Okay, so Armor Convoy, it's Sawyer. Yeah, a little bit of an early start, Jay. I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. So why not do this thing? I'm just now starting to get used to a little bit finally doing shorts. I never had shorts as an option until this week. I know everybody else has had it for months and months and months and months and months and months. I didn't. I don't know why. I just didn't. Hey, Tracer. So anyway, I got that now. Apparently, I was able to do like a trailer before the live stream. I didn't do it because I was going live right now. You guys know how this goes. A lot of this stuff exists, and like I don't know if I'm the dude to do it. Like I am not technologically advanced at all, but you guys already know that. Hey, Paul, just got back from vacation on the coast of California. Nice. Looking forward to hearing the show. H&E Games, look at that. Anthony is awake. He gets the joke. I said 6 lies. Listen, it's close enough, buddy. It's close enough. We got what, about 6 minutes or so? What does my phone say? Yeah, 6 minutes until we're supposed to go live. So we're here a few minutes early, which is why I'm lollygagging just a little bit here. We are going to do the news. Now, I do have trivia from Dragonfly, but I'm actually going to save that trivia for next week. By the way, I don't know if our buddy Dragonfly is going to come in here or not. He's been dealing with some health issues. So all of us, keep him in your thoughts. And if you are somebody who prays, keep him in your prayers, He's been dealing with a few things, and we do wish him the absolute best. I want to do a couple of shout outs before I go any further. First and foremost, to Ed Sharon, Charon. Eric Sharon. I apologize. Oh, man. It's been a warm day. Shout out to Eric Sharon. Someone reached out to me on his behalf and asked if I would do a shout out a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have the opportunity to do so until now because we had weeks that were just so full. So big shout out to Eric. I am always appreciative of anybody who gives me a few minutes of their time. And I meant to do this. The countdown last week was top 10 plot holes. And that was suggested by Gary Lockhart. And I meant to give him a shout out as well. So I thank him for that suggestion. Of course, we had this week, it was top 10 like space-faring alt modes, I guess. And that was a bit different than I expected it to be. It was pretty good, but it was a bit different than what I expected it to be like. The voting right now is for top 10 least in robots in disguise Transformers. And it's the ones that have like modes, either mode, that it like sticks out like a sore thumb. Of course, a lot of the weird beast modes, dragons, that sort of stuff has gotten a lot of love so far, as well as like huge bases, of course, combiners, because they're not, they're not going to hide, right? We've had things like Cosmos, dude turns into a UFO, so he kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, right? You get it. You know what we're talking about, right? And while that's great, and while that's good, and while that is grand, the voting has been crazy for it. I've had to say to so many people, man, guys, pick one or two, maybe even three. I had one dude who, not a lie, gave me a list of 46 names. I'm like, dude, there's 10 spots. I'm not adding 46 names. No, I'm just not counting it. Be realistic. It's impossible, man, for that to get on the list. Impossible. So he came back with a couple that were picked. But like, I don't do people really not understand how voting works? Like, you hear the question, give me the answer. Boom. Pretty simple, man. Pretty simple. A lot of people as well have been saying groups like the Insecticons or the Dinobots. No, dude, you can't. That's not how it works. I say Transformers characters. Everybody knows by now, unless I'm specifically asking about groups, please, for the love and honor of all that's right, good, and holy in the world, just give me a specific name. And some people say like, yeah, but the Dinobots are a group. I'm like, yes, but they're not all equal. There may be different votes for Swoop and different votes for Snarl and different votes for Grimlock, right? Same with the Insecticons. Maybe Shrapnel has different votes from Kickback. So no, I don't count groups. I need the specific names to keep the count pure, if that makes sense. So it's been a challenging round of voting, perhaps the most challenging round of voting yet. It'll be an interesting way to see how this pans out. By the way, really interesting with the countdown from Monday past. Number 4, 3, 2, and 1, all of them each separated by one vote. Like it was like 50, 51, 52, 53, something like that, like that's how those were separated. It was the closest race, and it was nuts. It was really, really nuts. Let's just check in with you guys here for a few moments. 46, right? Like crazy. I think some people, when they hear the question, like they give me like every single character that they could possibly think of from every iteration that could remotely fit the question. And sometimes they don't make sense to me. Like I had somebody vote in this for like Runabout. I think Runabout blends in pretty good. I don't even know what kind of car he's supposed to be, but he seems pretty nondescript car to me. I understand something like Lockdown. Even in car mode, like, come on, that Lamborghini is going to stick out. It is what it is. I'm talking about movie Lockdown now. So some of them stick out and make sense. Some of them kind of baffle me just a little bit. Add a buzzworthy Origins B and Generation Select 2 Ramjet to my collection. That's great. Let's talk about that. So Toys R Us in Canada is garbage and trash. Anybody who lives in the US and feels, oh, I feel so bad we don't have Toys R Us anymore. You're so lucky. No, because it's run by incompetent morons here. It is a chain that's going to destroy itself in short order. The Worlds Collide pack out in Canada. The Origins Bumblebee out in Canada. Our province has exactly one Toys R Us for the entire province. You know what we're getting as a cut from those two things from the first order? 0. We're getting none of them here. Nada. It's not coming to this entire province. It's not the only province it's not coming to. I have heard of other provinces that's not going to. And apparently the justification given is we're going to see how it sells first in Ontario, Manitoba, and Alberta. And if it sells well enough for a second order, then you'll get some of the second order. You're testing the waters with an order in the same provinces all the time. All the time. And you are, in the meantime, alienating several other provinces. I think it's a bad move, man. I think you're really kind of flushing some sales down the toilet, because I'm going to tell you now, if I get them some other way, Toys R Us is going to lose out on a sale, because I'm not willing to wait around for them to make up their minds if they're going to carry new product or not. If you're not competent enough to carry new product, when your name indicates that you should be the first spot to have new product, and then when you finally get it, you wonder why nobody's buying it, it's because people found it elsewhere and they're not waiting around for you. There are people that want it early. There are people that want it first. There are people that want it before it's old news everywhere else. So I think that they're doing bad business. I don't think they have competent people running the company, and it's been that way for a long, long time. I thought there were growing pains when it became Toys R Us Canada and it was taken over by like a Canadian team. I think that the mismanagement there is well up there, man, way up there with Hasbro and Amazon, like way up there. I don't expect them to last very long. I think they're going to end up closing a lot of stores, and it's not because stuff won't sell. It's because you're not stocking it with the right new product, and you're shooting yourself in the foot, basically. The one thing from like the buzzworthy line that we did get here, Grimby, that trash garbage crash combiner junk that's $25 Canadian that nobody's going to buy. That's what you're testing here. Nobody's going to buy that. Even, I've said it before and I'll say it again, even for kids. Kids are kids. They're not stupid. They're not going to want garbage. That's garbage. They know the difference. When you were a kid, did you want garbage? I didn't, man. I'm glad that you added both of them. I'm a bit enraged that we have specifically been told that our province is getting zero of the cut of the order on something that's an exclusive, no less. Happy for you. Angry at that company. Let's see. What are you guys saying here? Jumped, of course. I got the Super Link kicker today. You can keep him input. I know. Input loves kicker. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody love kicker. I'd like to kick him. Kick kicker. I'd like to kick kicker. Right. It's a bad joke. I'm not a funny man. Let's see. Walmart and Target in New York. Is he a Trans Am? Because when I look at Runamark, he don't look like a Trans Am to me. He's not like the Trans Ams I remember. Yeah, Jay got a Rodimus, but it's Jay. He's the Magic Man. Nothing on shelves. That's rough, man. Hey, Ken. Go live later month. What else do we have here? Hey, Ultra Marcus. Expecting my Rodimus and Ramjet tomorrow. Except that's wonderful. Again, Rodimus. Not anywhere in my country. My Amazon pre-order. Guess what? It's not in stock. I'm getting real sick of stuff. Being told like pre-order and stuff, and then not being released in my country. Getting real tired of it. I have yet to see anything show in Manitoba. So distribution. Listen, I have heard that it is out in Ontario, Manitoba, and Alberta. I've specifically heard those three provinces. I can't speak to it because, of course, I don't live there. But all I can tell you, Manitoba, is keep your eyes peeled because apparently they're supposed to be out there. Series 2 of the Playmates Retro Turtles Retro Collection. Cool. Finally have Slash. Cool. I saw a picture. I think Kato had it of like a crossovers of Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was Shredder, and he was like the Green Ranger. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Cool, but the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Not much upstate here. I'm still waiting on a pre-order for a Galvatron, and it's going to be a month late for me, right? That jumped down again. I don't know how far down that jumped. Feel like I'm in Canada. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. I feel for you if you feel like you're in Canada right now, buddy. Hey, Crumple Zone. Target has been okay in the city. They're slowly getting back to normal. As we go down here, and guys, there's stuff here I'm going to skip over. We'll take it as it comes. Hey, Nate. Hope I didn't miss. No, man, you listen. All you missed was me kind of ranting about how Toys R Us is mismanaged and kind of doing the hellos because I was on a little bit earlier. I had a little bit of extra time. Saw 10 T-Rex in a Brooklyn Target. We'll do that now too. T-Rex actually out in the US. Some people have been confused by that. Why? I don't know, because it was stated a while ago that it was a red car exclusive for July. It is now August. It makes sense that it goes out on the shelves. Apparently, he's fairly abundant to get. I think the paint looks great. Here, again, in Canada, I mean, taxes in, he's going to be $80. I'm not spending $80 for a character I really don't know. But if you're in for that mold, you're in for another use of that mold, then go for it. It is definitely a leader. No doubt about it. It's just not a character I'm invested enough in myself to kind of double dip on the mold. Hey, Brian, becoming a channel member. I appreciate it, my friend. Very, very, very much. More than you can know, my boy. More than you can know. But yeah, T-Rex headed on Target shelves. I assume at some point it'll come to Toys R Us. Our Toys R Us probably won't get it because, mismanagement. Let's see. I can't find anything here. Sorry, that's rough. I'll take pics next time. It said tumbleweeds. That is sad. I'm having a hard time finding Rodimus too. I think Rodimus will come. I just think it's slow distribution or whatever. I'm like, while I'm disappointed that I'm in a state where I just have to wait for it, like I'm still pretty confident that like he's gonna show up. It'll be fine. 4 T-Rex yesterday, no Galvey. Hey, John. If you notice, the Starscream wife actually isn't here. She's not in the chat tonight, but she is here. She's like a few feet away, but she's doing her own thing tonight. Busy day at work, busy week, harsh week. So she's just like, man, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be in the chat tonight. I think I'm just going to watch my shows and be happy and have snacks and enjoy life. And I was like, go for it. Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that, Manitoba. Right? I try to I appreciate when people keep an eye out for things for me, and I do the same. Like I sent, I think last week, like a bunch of Masters of the Universe stuff to Triple R. I happened to see it here, and he said I hadn't seen any of that. I'm like, you want it? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay, cool. It's not often that we actually have stuff here that I'm able to help with, but man, I was happy when I could do that. Sometimes you can't pay it back, but man, you can always pay it forward, Should I call them? I actually take my kid. I could have drove. Ooh, I would. Why not call him? Why not call him, Ken? I added the TRU across the border from Michigan to my trip to Canada. You can add it. You can go there. If it's in Ontario, you might luck out. If it's in Quebec, you might luck out. I don't know where you're coming up to H&E Games. I don't know where you're entering the country to, so it's iffy. But like if you were coming here, I would say don't even bother. Check the 3 EBs, check the 3 Walmarts. Don't even waste your time with Toys R Us because you're going to go there and the shelves will be full of old stuff or junk. Like they still have, for example, there's this like pack of, I'm going to call them, I'm going to say one-step changers that came out as part of R.E.D 2015. Like they're still on the shelf. Like that's how old some of the stock is. Why they're like that, I don't know. By the way, And aside for a moment, Brian became a channel member. I recently put up this week, just yesterday, I believe, a preview. It's only about 3 minutes, but a preview of the finale of Universal Collision. Still, of course, working on it. It's going to be a big one, but yeah, a little preview up for patrons and channel members. Got the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origins. Looks great. Again, I've been in for that. But if we don't get any cut, then I guess I won't get it. Simple as that. You know, Hasbro's losing sales. You had somebody right here, guaranteed sale for the Origins B. Guaranteed. 100% I was in for it. And you made it an exclusive. You sent it to one store, and that store isn't giving our province a cut. So you're losing sales. Way to mismanage both Hasbro and Toys R Us. Way to throw a sale down the toilet. Can you have milk? Yeah, sure, Bone Crusher. Have milk. Go for it, buddy. I got Rodimus through Entertainment Earth. Yeah, I don't really know it. I don't really. Again, it's an American company, so I don't really know it. Atlantic Terminal should have Rodimus next week. I don't know what that is. Let's see as we go down here a bit. Saw T-Rex at Target and Phoenix. Also looking for the Buzzworthy stuff. Didn't look too bad. Wasn't fond of the silver. I like the purple on like his back though, man. I totally love the purple on his back. Still looking for Origins B. A lot of people are. Thanks for doing your show, Dennis, on a Thursday in the last hour of work. This is super fun for me. I'm glad you're appreciating it, man. We still have the news to do. It's going to be kind of quick. We have the unboxing to do, and we have a little bit of trivia. Like I said, we're going to save Dragonfly's trivia for next week's show. September is when the Ark and the rest of Kingdom Wave are set to be arriving here in Scotland. Again, like, I don't even know if I'm getting the Ark. I had someone who had reached out to kind of hook me up pretty much sort of for the US price. We'll see if he contacts me again. Simple as that. Because the Canadian price is just, I don't see it, man. I don't see the Canadian price. Checking out the Oakville EB. They still have some things. Good luck. Good luck, Liz. Newfoundland is very out of the way. But we do have a collector community. So, by the way, speaking of collector community, I went to a Walmart yesterday and I posted this in a couple of places. And I went to the section where the G.I. Joes are. And there was one like Snake Eyes, Origin Snake Eyes. I'm like, I didn't even know there was a line for that. The 6-inch classified has gone up from $29.99 to $33.99. And the 3 3/4 have gone from $17.97 because it's Walmart to $20.97. $21, man, for a 3 3/4. But that's not the point. I mean, either you want to pay that or you don't. Again, it's just a sign of more price hikes and Hasbro destroying themselves because nobody's going to pay that. You know what they are going to do, though? They're going to rip the packages open and steal the figures. You know how I know? Because there was a Cobra Commander package, empty. A Snake Eyes package, empty. A Lady J package, empty. And though I only had those 3 in the picture, there was also a Duke package, empty. Nobody was paying that for them. It's insane. But they had no problem ripping it open and stealing it. And that is going to be, again, lost revenue. It's going to, Hasbro doesn't take back this sort of stuff. So, you know who swallows the loss? Walmart swallows the loss. If it keeps happening, eventually they're just going to stop ordering from them. And they're going to say, what's the point? We're paying you good money to bring this in to put on our shelves, and the people are stealing it because your MSRP is insane. That's what's going to happen. I mean, you could say I'm wrong. You could say the company is safe, but it's not because their strategy is too short-sighted, man. I'm disgusted to see it, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because people are going to say, I want it and I don't want to pay that price. It's disgusting. It's wrong. It's criminal, but it's what's going to happen. Sadly, more and more. I've never seen that happen here before. Never seen it before. This was a first for me. A sad first. Haven't seen Wave 3. We haven't had Wave 3 here. That hasn't shown up. Got your X-Pants. I hope you enjoyed. I've heard iffy things about the X-Pants, man. Smith's Toys and a few online stores are the only hope. Yeah, it's hard in the UK too, hey? Hasbro Benji been dropping the ball a lot lately. They've been dropping it since 2019, buddy. Everybody like calls me on this stuff until a couple of years pass, and then they're like, "Hey, you know what? You were right." I'm like, "I know I was right." If I find it here, Bumblebee Origins, I'll send you. I appreciate it, Ultra Megatronus. I think you and I you and I who were talking about the Origins pack the other day, Ultra Megatronus. Was that you and me? I could be wrong. I feel like that was you and me. And I said, "No, man, don't worry about it because they're coming to Toys R Us." Then I find out this. And if it wasn't you, then I apologize. I got to go. Gonna miss your show. That's okay, John. I appreciate it, buddy. You do what you got to do, man. You serve the people. Orange Bee is almost $30 out here. Yeah, well, I mean, here he's going to be $32.99. He's the price of a deluxe, right? It's just I don't think they're ever going to do another version of him, to be honest with you. I wonder if SS79 is that another Bumblebee, Boss Gunny? I bet you that's another Bumblebee. Promise myself I would be patient and not be led down the dark path of hate. But damn it, Hasbro, you're making it right. I mean, I got there a long time ago. Welcome to the club, Manitoba. Welcome to the club, buddy. Oh, the LeBron fiasco. Yeah, all the heads tore off. I don't really get this. It has something to do with Space Jam. I don't. Jay was talking about that earlier today. All these LeBron heads up for like $6,000 and stuff. I don't know what it has to. I don't know what it's about, but apparently it has something to do with Space Jam and scalpers. Yeah, it was the 4-pack. Like I should have said, you know what, get it because we're not getting it. I'll make us membership cards. You do it, buddy. You do it. Okay, let's get into the news. We've wasted a lot of, not wasted, because it's always great when I get to interact with you guys. I'm going to take that back. It's not wasted. That's a lie. Got Buzzworthy waiting to pick up tonight. Enjoy, Grimlock on. Enjoy, buddy, because we're not getting a cut. Okay, so I'm going to run through the news pretty quickly here because we've been almost a half hour and it's been us just jaw-jacking, really, right? Let's get to the news. So I saw these 3D printed Energon rods, and they look really good. They are made by, I hope I'm saying his name right, Isaac Hanchett, and they look excellent. They're 3D printed in what looks like a translucent yellowy plastic. The ends are both painted gold. It looks really, really good. He's done a very, very nice job. Reach out to him if you're interested in Energon rods because they're done really nicely. Buzzworthy, Power Change Bumblebee is out. Again, he was in EB Games here for months and went on clearance for months and eventually disappeared. And I was like, good. And now they're re-releasing it. It scales with nothing. It has like some voices or junk like that. It's huge. It's overpriced. So, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, Kato. I guess if you want the Power Charge B and you missed it for some reason the first time, I don't know if it was hard to get anywhere. It was easy to get here because nobody wanted it. But if you missed it the first time and you want it, here's your chance in the Buzzworthy line. Take it for what it is. I would be more interested in those 3D printed Energon rods than I would in Power Charge Bumblebee. Dr. Wu's Power Glide was shown, as well as their Sea Spray. Both look pretty great. They're tiny. They're small. Now, there was a discussion, I almost want to say maybe on Tales from Teletran, and I could be wrong about that. I thought that's what it was on. They were talking about the size of these things. They're basically MicroMaster size. If you know the MicroMasters, they're basically that size. They're very, very small. The intention is for these to scale with the like Titans, is my understanding. Now, the upside is that that's cool. The downside is that they don't scale with each other. So like Soundwave is the same size as Power Glide and Bumblebee, right? Like it is what it is. Blaster is the same size as Sea Spray and Beachcomber. But it's a neat little nod. And honestly, I've got a couple of things from them. I've got their Mohawk and I've got their Squawk Box. And honestly, I think both of them are great. I think Dr. Wu is doing a nice, clever little job. Yeah, you know, bravo, Dr. Wu. And you know what? There's so many people and companies now doing like add-on kits and whatnot. It's nice to see them kind of branch out, try something else. And they're in a road that kind of nobody else is. It's sort of able to go with Legends. Like if you wanted to have a Legends collection and you still wanted your mini bots to be mini, even if you didn't want like the Soundwave or the Blaster or the Starscream, you could still get the Power Glide and like the Bumblebee and the Beachcomber and put it with your other Legends. I think they'd scale okay, honestly. I like what Dr. Wu is doing. Good on him. T-Rex we already talked about. Also, the B2 packs are out at Target if you want them. I don't know why anybody would. I talked about it last week. If you want it, cool. Let's see. What else do we have here? What is that? Oh, Ultimate Armor Optimus Prime. Cyberverse. Ultimate Armor Optimus Prime. Now it's coming out in Cyberverse Adventures. Why? Again, I can't speak for other places, but like it hasn't sold here. Like Toys R Us, full of them. Each of the Walmarts, full of them. Nobody's buying that Ultimate Optimus Prime with that armor gimmick. All you're doing is putting it in package and putting it out again. I don't know. Are you really that starved for product? If you want it, cool. But I don't think here is even going to carry that because why? The first package of it isn't selling. I don't know why you would pack it again. Shattered Glass Megatron and Starscream images. Look, I'm 100% in for. Give me a Shattered Glass, I don't know, Thundercracker, Skywarp, and Soundwave. And boom, there's a good team for me there. I'm totally in for. By the way, our buddy Justin from the 3D Corner is working on, and I'll keep you guys apprised of this, he's working on a trailer that can work with, I don't know if he'll get this to work yet, but he's a pretty good magician. He's working on a trailer that can go with the like Siege or Earthrise Optimus Prime, but also G1 Optimus Prime. And I'm very much keeping tabs on it because I'm hoping that he can kind of use that to give me a trailer to go with Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. I'm sort of betting on it. It's its own trailer. It's a 3D printable thing. It's an interesting design he's coming up with. I'll keep you guys apprised. It might be an option for anybody looking for an extra trailer. An option and probably an affordable option. So I'll keep you apprised of that. Let's see. Transformers is crossing with Top War to do a mobile game. If you like mobile games, cool. It sounds very Earth Wars-ish to me. Super 7 Cyberchrome Megatron is out. It's a Target exclusive in the US. It's basically Megatron, except instead of being like more of a matte gray, he's a silver. It is what it is. If you like the Super 7, cool. The Red Line. We saw a couple of things come out from the Red Line this week, notably Dark Energon Transformers Prime Megatron. I think that's going to be really interesting to see. I think it's going to look great, display great, and I think it's going to be an example of how this line is a display piece more than anything else. Also, apparently Cliff Jumper is coming out. I don't know. The Red Line's not for me. I've said it before, but I do like the look of those robots usually. The Starscream looked a little wonky to me, not going to lie. The face of the Starscream did. Haven't seen the Bumblebee yet. The Cheetor is probably the best one that they've done. Gary Chalk is going to TFCon in October. Listen, I don't know what anybody says. As far as I'm concerned, he's Optimus Primal. Speaking of Optimus Primal, let's just take a caveat in a second here. I just want to talk a couple of things about Kingdom. Some of this will be spoilers because I didn't say it last week. The voice acting, I do think that maybe Dinobot and Tigatron's voices should have been changed. A lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said that they found the story confusing. I didn't. I thought that it was actually pretty simplistic in the way that it was done. You still had the time travel thing, but it's sort of okay for these Beast Wars characters to be different from the 90s Beast Wars characters that we know, because these Beast Wars characters aren't the 90s Beast Wars characters. These Beast Wars characters are from a different alternate universe, one where the Allspark was taken off planet and never returned to Cybertron. They didn't go on and just descend. They came up from the ruins, came up from the ash and the muck, and they became something else. Somewhat embittered, somewhat enraged, somewhat despondent to the world and the universe around them. Megatron before he became Galvatron under the control of Unicron, recorded his whole success and failures on the golden discs and left them for this other Megatron. Not only a Megatron of the past, but a Megatron from an alternate universe. So you have two things going on here: an alternate universe and time travel. I liked that. And here's the nice thing. Whenever you wanted to have a battle and you wondered, how did the Decepticons know this? Why are the Decepticons there? You had the MacGuffin of the golden disc. You were always able to say, hey, man, golden disc. Cool. And that was your MacGuffin. I'm still not going to ruin the end of it in case you haven't seen the end of it, but that's kind of a little bit more of a hot take, so to speak. And I know there might be a few spoilery things in there, but you have to kind of consider two aspects. And I guess I consider it because of Universal Collision. You have to consider two aspects. One, that there is that time travel element where their descendants are in the past. And two, we are now dealing with multiple versions of these characters. Originally, word is that the story was supposed to be that these like War for Cybertron Autobots and Decepticons would meet up with the G1 Autobots and Decepticons that we all know and love. And you'd have like two Optimus Primes and two Sideswipes and I don't know, two Megatrons and two Starscreams. But the designers really wanted to do Beast Wars and managed to talk the suits into, hey, for chapter 3, why don't we have them meet with alternate universe versions of the Beast Wars characters? Here's the thing. Certain things, for example, like Beast Wars Megatron, a lot of people said, I don't know, he's pretty sycophantic. It's a very different take, and it is a very different take. However, this Beast Wars Megatron, unlike the one with the finesse and gravitas of Mr. David K that we all know and love, this Beast Wars Megatron was born, created, whatever you want to call it, and really raised in the ruins of a planet rather than just being a descendant thereof. He is going to develop in a different way. And because he was kind of given the golden discs to sort of deliver to Megatron, I think more than just paying homage and saying like, hey, Megatron was a cool guy, he really almost became like a disciple of Megatron. And that gave him a kind of a different personality. I'm not going to say I like it as much because I don't, but I respect that it's the way things are. Hey, Razor Bear, my only issue with Kingdom, by the way, super chat, super fan, I thank you very, very much, sir. Was how did Starscream know about Galvatron? Now, I'll say this. There's a couple of loose ends here at the end. I loved Kingdom, but there's a couple of loose ends. Starscream says he could still hear Unicron. It's interesting that Starscream's in his head. Starscream almost acted like a good guy. We also know that Galvatron and Nemesis Prime, again, are from an alternate universe future. Spark never went back. So Megatron got reformatted to Galvatron. Optimus became corrupted as Nemesis Prime. But by the very end, I feel like it's set up that there's going to be more. Do I think it's going to be a fourth chapter? No. I think that what we're trilogy under the guise of Legacy, and I think that whole new trilogy is expressly going to tie in with what we have. I think that because a little while ago, some of the designers were asked, hey, when this trilogy ends, are you going to kind of keep the scale? So it would be kind of silly of us to change it now. I think they're going to keep the scale and the aesthetic for the next trilogy, and that this trilogy to come is going to expressly tie to the War for Cybertron. It's just now the Legacy will probably be on Earth, maybe prehistoric Earth, rather than on Cybertron. That's my guess. We'll see. Maybe some of it will be on Cybertron and the Predacons. So we'll see. It's an interesting notion. But I think that whatever comes next is going to expressly tie to it. That's my take on that. Let's go up here just a little bit. I'm definitely missing some stuff, and I apologize if I do. What a great Thursday. Sparkless Seeker, Wreck-Gar, Rodimus. That is fantastic. Hey, speaking of which, apparently, and I said this before, the Studio Series Wave 2 stuff, that I pre-ordered had a street date of October 1st. Apparently, EB Games has pushed that up to today, which could potentially mean that I could get some calls for some pre-orders, even though I already have Slag. As a matter of fact, he's going to be tomorrow's review. But I do have other things pre-ordered, and I could get that call any day because apparently they are now released. So fingers crossed, man. Hey, D Gray. If it's still there, I'll get it. Appreciate it, Ultra Megatronus. Hey, Master Fire from Lake George. You sound like a man on vacation. Only thing I have on the way right now is Wreck-Gar and Thrust. Both great. Well, I can't speak for Wreck-Gar. I have a feeling he's going to be great. But Thrust is great. I got Origins B. He's great. He's actually done right. You know what? I think that that's a good description, Master Fire. Yeah, on vacation. I said that. Going through a lot of parts I got today. It looks like most of the KO and 3P stuff. I got uses for most of them. You know, all those parts, by the way, Maximal 10 that I sent you pictures of. Like, if any of those parts are useful to you, you're welcome to them. You're welcome to all of them because I don't have a use for a lot of them. Let's see. Hey, Keldeo. Oh, man, if you're just coming in, you missed a whole bunch of stuff. But that's okay. It's always there. 44? I don't know why I'm saying 44. I found a trailer. I didn't buy it, but I know a buyer. She helped me. Cool. Everything's Chrome in the future. The game is going to be pretty much Pokemon Go for Transformers. Oh, okay. That's that game. Thank you, Nate. I wasn't sure what game it was. I got you. I did hear about that. Red Cheetor is all right, but the colors are way off. I don't know. I saw the Red Cheetor. I thought the colors were pretty good. The colors are way off on the Kingdom Cheetor. Yeah, Meg, like, I get it. A lot of people are like Meg's voice, and I get it because what I did is it's so weird. For the Beast Wars characters, I had the voices in my head. This is gonna make me sound crazy, but I had the voices in my head of like Gary Chalk or of David K, and I heard them saying the lines, so it really didn't bother me too much. The only thing that did bother me is when Beast Wars Megatron would say a line, and I'm like, David K's version wouldn't say that ever at all. It's not right. But he did kind of grow on me. He's not going to be my Beast Wars Megatron, but I understand why he's different. I understand why he has different motivations. I also love the simplicity of Galvatron's motivations. Red Bumblebee is all right. Yeah, Red Bumblebee looks okay. I don't know why they put like the battle damage rusty stuff on him, but whatever. Beast Wars characters from an alternate timeline. Sounds like what Earth Wars is doing now. Yes, I agree. It does. Neither do I, but that's what the new mobile game is. I think Kingdom had a good flow to it. I think Kingdom had a good flow to it too. And I found for the most part that the voice acting was way, I don't want to say way better. I want to say it was paced better, except Optimus and Megatron. And I don't mean to kind of harp on it, but I found that what would happen with them is when they would take pauses in their speech, it didn't seem like natural places to take pauses. And as such, it just seemed like they were drawing the speech out. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to have pauses, cool, but have them appropriate for appropriate effect. I like the theory of why Waspinator wasn't in the series. I don't know why Waspinator wasn't in the series. I never heard it. Lotus Esprits? Again, if you say so, they just look like nondescript cars to me. I'm not a car guy, so like it's pretty easy for something to look like a nondescript car to me. Golden Disc Kingdom was the best out of the three. I agree. Who is to say that main Beast Wars Megatron would not have bowed to original Megatron? I don't think original Beast Wars Megatron would bow to anyone. I think his arrogance was too high, but you never know. The Maximals and Autobots interacted very well together. I agree they did. I thought they explained it in Kingdom Episode 2, I think. Starscream knew it from the Golden Disc, I think. Yeah, because remember, Starscream read some of the Golden Disc, so he already had some knowledge that he wasn't supposed to have, even though he was supposed to read it with Black Arachnia, but that's not what happened, because Starscream. I'd forgotten that he'd done that. Already pre-ordered the X-Transbots Runabout and Runamuck. Let's talk about that because that's in the news too. So X-Transbots Runabout and Runamuck, they look tremendous. I mean, it's early renders yet, but if you're an MP collector, I'm not. I have the mainline Runabout and Runamuck. But if you're an MP collector, I think that these are two characters long overdue to get that treatment. And I think the renders look great. They look sleek. They look slender. They look correct. I don't know how they'll work out in the end. I know that X-Transbots has vastly improved their materials and vastly improved their engineering and everything else. I have high hopes. I think both modes look great. I think it's amazing that the hood opens on both, the doors open, and there's an interior, even with a steering wheel and seats. I mean, really blowing me away. If it functions as well as it looks, man, they might have a couple of sleeper hits on their hands. Might really have a couple of sleeper hits on their hands. Hey, Shogun. Red Cheetor's colors aren't bad. It's just instead of gold, they use brown. And maybe that's it. Yeah. I don't even know if I call it brown. Bronze? Maybe it was brown. I was scared because when I went to Walmart, they didn't have Transformers toys, but oh, they moved them. Yeah, I hate when they do that. Hey, Dragonfly, listen. Just found Rekka. Good pick. What? Good pick up? Yeah, it is. Dragonfly, we talked about you earlier, buddy. I know you sent me some trivia. I have not had a chance to look at it, but I do have trivia. We're going to use the trivia you sent me for next week. So you get a bit of a break, buddy. Get a couple in the bank. Take care of yourself, of course. But that's a great pick-me-up. I envy you a little bit there, buddy. Kingdom will lead into Legends, where every single episode will have G1 Cup relate some story from the past. I'd be okay with that. I like Cup. And I like Cup stories. Tell Grimlock story. Like, I'm just saying. I don't like how they borrowed elements from the original, like the Choppa face line. Yeah, I get that. Although I thought that Rat Trap was okay. I love Black Arachnia. I thought she was done really well. And I was a big fan of Air Razor. I love the scene of Laserbeak like chasing her. I thought that was great. They're going to make a sequel. Hasbro has got too many old moles that they could still use. Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't like Waspinator not in it. Kingdom was polarizing. Waspinator not in Beast Wars. Hey, Super Robot Ed. New story. They're still going to try to call back to the old. I think that the plan is to have these characters eventually link up with those characters. I think Hasbro is doing what DC did. DC tried to follow Marvel, and it didn't work. And a lot of people panned their fiction and stuff. And so what did DC do? DC said, you know what? Instead of something like a whole universe that's all connected, we're going to do a multiverse. And eventually there'll be some story that will connect all of these threads, which they kind of done with the Arrowverse on TV when they done like Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? Because you had some cameo stuff there. And we know, like, you know, there's a version coming up with like, you know, old Batman, Michael Keaton and whatnot. We know the Suicide Squad is still in that universe. So like there's various universes going on at once. I think Transformers, I think Hasbro realized, hey, we have failed a whole bunch with all these reboots. I think they're doing a multiverse that they plan to have collapse. I wonder where they could have got an idea to collapse a multiverse from. Just saying. Make of that what you will. Mainline, Runamuck and Runabout. Runabout was an exclusive. He was. I was lucky to get him, but he shouldn't have been an exclusive. Black Arachne and Starscream were probably my favorite characters. I agree. New phone, who dis? That's Brian. We love Brian around here. So Gary Chalk, we already talked about. For Rise of the Beasts, apparently is delayed until December of 2022. I don't know. They need longer to make this because it'll be less of a disaster trying to fit so much stuff in one movie. I'm nervous about Rise of the Beasts. The more I hear, the more I see. There's delays. We saw images of the Mirage that It doesn't look like Mirage. I mean, let's see what the robot mode is like. Maybe let's see what the head is like. Maybe I'll be able to buy it then. I'm nervous about Rise of the Beast. More than excited, I'm nervous, and that's a weird feeling to have. Really weird feeling to have, actually. New Cyberverse Cheetor, the one with the armor bits and whatnot, is out in Chile, so already starting to come out. Wreck-Gar and Thrust out in the US. We just heard about Wreck-Gar there. I do want that Wreck-Gar. I actually want that Studio Series Thrust. More I see, more I'm thinking Liege Maximo, man. Just saying, more I'm thinking Liege Maximo. As we keep going through here, I already talked about how the Worlds Collide is not coming here and how much nonsense that is. Speaking of Target and releases and whatnot, NPM 12, that's the Bumblebee Optimus Prime movie masterpiece, Bumblebee Optimus Prime, out at Target. Funko Pop Shockwave out in the UK. In fact, somebody showed me that they picked it up. They might be in the chat. I don't remember now who it was. BS Prime, was it you? Was it you who showed me? I could be wrong. But was it you who showed me the Funko Pop? Shockwave Labs. Perhaps their most significant upgrade kit, LED eyes for HasLab Unicron. And there is a remote to operate them. And apparently once they're installed, not that I would dare to take apart pieces of a like $1,000, because remember Canada, right? $1,000 product. Like, not that I would take it apart, but if I did, and put these LED eyes in, apparently all the gimmicks still work. It gives them green glowing eyes. Just saying, my cell already has eyes that glow, so I didn't need that. But if you have the HasLab Unicron, you want them to have glowing eyes, and you want to spend more money on them, get the Shockwave Labs upgrade kit. One thing that they do have that I think is clever, the remote for it looks like Metroplex's eyes, a la the episode Ghost in the Machine. So I do think that's pretty cool. We already talked about X-Transbots. We already talked about the 46 votes. What else do we have here? Dreamstar Toys showed off their, it's weird. I'm going to say Skydive because the article said, like the title said Skydive. The article itself talked about Slingshot, which we saw like last week. And I think the Slingshot, I never would have recognized it. But the pictures here were definitely of a Skydive. Still highly stylized as part of their Superion, which we've also seen, which is also pretty stylized. But at least, and this was grayscale to be fair, but at least this looked recognizable to me as Skydive. The head was stylized, but it had enough nods to Skydive that I'm like, yeah. Now, if it's actually supposed to be Slingshot, it looks nothing like Slingshot at all. What else do we have here? Flame Toys for IDW Rodimus Prime. Last of the news, by the way. It looks a lot like the MMC Rodimus Prime, or Rodimus, I guess, Hot Rodimus, whatever. And when I saw the MMC, I used to always say, like, I guess it's neat if it was Cybertronian. It looks weird. It doesn't really look like Rodimus to me. But now, realizing that this is a take on IDW, that's why I never recognized it, because I wouldn't recognize that. If you like it, cool. If you have the MMC, I don't see any reason to get this. If you don't have the MMC, I guess you can get it if you're cool with them not transforming. I feel like Robot Mode, two of them look a lot alike, but I got to give the nod to the MMC on this one. Just saying. You know what Flame Toys should do? Do model kits of the Primes. They didn't have alt modes anyway. Do those guys. We're going to do trivia in a second. I'm just going to check in here with you guys ever so slightly. Let's see. Hasbro took Mattel, Black Arachne, Starscream. I got so upset with Tigatron from, I assume you're talking about from Kingdom. I wish that Tigatron was a bit different too. He was always more patient, wise, solemn, and that's not the Tigatron we got here. I was more upset with Tigatron than I was with Beast Wars Megatron. Yeah, December 2022. Long wait, I guess. If they go with Cup telling stories, and they're not going to go with Cup telling stories in Legacy, but that'd be great if they did. It'd be hilarious. I imagine it would be caption star narration in Tugs. I don't know what that means. Okay. I don't like Tigatron's voice in the show. No. If you expect the worst, you can only be surprised. That's true. I know people are happy because the more time they spend, the better it'll be. But I wanted to see how a Transformer movie would succeed in a summer release post Transformers 5. I think that they're afraid of the summer release. And I think in no small part, a lot of it has to do with Snake Eyes. Let's talk about Snake Eyes for a second. I haven't seen it yet. Dying to see it. It's on my list to see. However, the budget was $88 million. And on its opening weekend, it grossed $13 million. It's considered an abstract failure and a bomb for what was supposed to be the reboot of the G.I. Joe franchise. I don't see it rebooting now. Not unless a lot more people go out. It has failed to turn a profit. And I think Paramount now is petrified. I think they are petrified. I think they're on very shaky financial ground. I think Lorenzo de Bonaventura is very nervous as well, and they need a success. I think they're desperate. You make of that what you will, but I think they're desperate. I haven't seen Snake Eyes, so I can't comment on it yet, but rest assured when I do, you guys will know. I'm disappointed that it only made 13 million, but I'm not surprised because a lot of places yet, a lot of people still aren't comfortable with going to theaters. Here they have it set up pretty good, and things are pretty great here. But that's not the case everywhere, So people are still nervous about going out to theaters and whatnot. I'd like to see theaters get more support and be able to stay in business. Basically, the Transformers. No, well, yeah, I get what you're saying. Basically, the Transformers Legends manga. No, listen, I'm going to tell you my story and Universal Collision was before all of that. I actually reached out to Hasbro with my idea many, many years ago, before there was a manga, before there was the War for Cybertron, everything. And I've had a lot of people that know what I did coming back to me and say, man, they stole your idea. I'm like, I know they stole my idea. That's what they did. The manga's poorly written too. I don't like the way Japanese fiction goes. I don't like the storytelling. I don't like it. It's not well done. I'm sorry. It's not, man. It's just not. Mirage alt mode is all wrong. Yes, it should be. Toys R Us has Funko Shockwave. That's not where I saw it though, but good to know. I want Wings for Siege Megatron. I'm so upset that Toys R Us finally put a Funko Shockwave and it's not in stock. I'm upset about a lot of things with Toys R Us. You weren't here, Brian, but our Toys R Us is not getting any of the cut of the Worlds Collide set or Origins Bumblebee. It's not coming here. Certainly not from the first order. Maybe from the second order. We'll see how it sells. Let's see. I wish Flame Toys would do some Prime stuff. Yeah, and you know what? They might eventually. I love the 911 Porsche. That's fair. Did you see Airraiser and Tigatron hugged? Then they just left that part of the story alone. I think it's going to be more to it, to be honest with you. I don't think we've seen the end of the Beast Force characters at all. I just got this previous weekend. I got Origins B and T-Rex in the mail. I'm happy for you, Runis. I wish I got T-Rex. Check Target. Didn't see Snake Eyes, but it is 100% the reason they pushed back Transformers. Yeah, I agree. Who asked for Snake Eyes? No one seemed to care about the only 2 films from long ago. Also bothered me he didn't don the helmet until the last 2 shots. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it. Take care, Ken. I created the Transformers trading card game back in 2013, right? And submitted it to Hasbro. Their lawyers told me since it was their property, I have no right to the idea. Like, oh my God. So they stole your idea too. What a garbage company. I can't wait for them to fail and go under. I'm going to laugh at them when they do. I'm going to make a whole video about this is why they failed. And if you are missing their products, then you shouldn't have been part of the problem. Just saying. I'm tired of stores skipping things or not even getting them on. Absolutely. Look at those cone heads, man. And what happened with those? Okay, let's do the trivia. They had tons of T-Rex at the Target there. Tugs is a good show. as it was cool or dark sometimes. I don't know it. Let's do trivia. We'll do trivia. We'll do the unboxing. We're gonna get out of here. So trivia. Which Decepticon said, "Incredible, not even the Autobots can do that kind of stunt driving," which caused Megatron to reply with the name of the team. I will call them the Stunticons. So who is the character that said, "Incredible, not even the Autobots can do that kind of stunt driving"? Was it A, Shockwave? Was it B, Rumble? Was it C, Starscream? Or was it D, Thundercracker? Who said, "Incredible, not even the Autobots can do that sort of stunt driving"? And then Megatron named them the Stunticons. Who was it that said it? Was it A, Shockwave, B, Rumble, C, Starscream, or D, Thundercracker? We have B, Rumble, Rumble Frenzy. Yeah, you guys are right, man. It was Rumble indeed. Don't forget, Dragonflies trivia will be next week's show's trivia. Okay, let's do this week's unboxing. Get out of here, or unpackaging. Get out of here. So, thanks to our good buddy Jay Holla, I am very happy to say, because it ain't out here, I am very, very happy to say that. Oh, lay it there. I have myself a wing finger. Now, a lot of people haven't been in on the fossilizers. And you know what? I am disappointed that the fossilizers did not show up in Kingdom at all. But I do like Wingfinger. I think Wingfinger is a she, and she's weird, but I dig her. I'm having fun with her, and I think she's a cool kind of bird. I don't plan to do the combined mode with her until I get the Autobot use of the. I kind of want to keep the good guys with the good guys. Just saying. Also, this week coming up, you saw, we're going to be taking a look at both of these Galvatrons, the Unique Toys Vintage Color Mania King versus the Kingdom Galvatron. We're going to see which Galvatron is better, or maybe they're both like equally excellent for different reasons. And coming up this week, oh, sorry to be bent down here, but oh man, but I had to be for a moment. Oh, bear with me here a second. Coming up this week, we will look at Trax versus Trax. Luckily, mine's in okay shape. Now, he did have a number, a serial number, something like right here. Like, you had no better place to put the serial number than on his shin. Really? So I had to take that off. Luckily, it seems like it's gray plastic underneath, so it didn't really do any harm. So I picked up, so I thanks to Jay, arriving this week, luckily, was Wingfinger. And also arriving, this isn't Transformers. This is actually a G.I. Joe. But I'll show it anyway because it arrived, and I'm cool with it. But the other thing that I got this week is a 25th G.I. Joe 25th anniversary Serpentor. I'm having his cape or the thing up behind him. This version didn't. This is version 5, I think. Version 4 had it. Version 6 had it. Version 5 didn't. But I kind of like the color layout on this version more, oddly. I don't know why. I just do. So, yeah. So a Serpentor. I've never had a Serpentor. Cool with it. Would it be nice to have the... I don't know what you call it. That sled thing that he flies around on? I guess, but like, I'm not really into the vehicles as much. I don't have the room or anything for that anyway. So Serpentor, Wingfinger, that's what I got this week. The lag stirring up again. You know what's funny? You know why the lag might be stirring up? Tonight, we actually have the Scraplets home, and normally on Thursday nights, they're not here. Bet they're using up some of the bandwidth. Anyway, we're done here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I hope you had a good time. I hope we had a bit of fun, even if we had a couple of rants. What can I say? If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube, just like our buddy Brian did earlier. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, man, you right there, you do make a difference. Tomorrow is Slag. We're going to be taking a look at Slag tomorrow. Outside of that, the only thing left to say is I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way inside the, let's go over here, videos.